And let's roll up. Let's get Bryan Barrett into this conversation. Bryan Barrett, WGNS, is going to join us. Bryan is affected by this directly. Bryan, I don't know if you heard the question, but we were asked to brainstorm what we would do different with the playoff scenarios, and what do you see doing differently would keep an Oakland or a Blackman team from having to run the gauntlet to get to a tough Maryville team every year?
Well, one thing I think is what we have discovered is that 6 classifications is too many. I really think the 5 classification system works better. Maybe not so much so for the teams like Columbia and Shelbyville and such, but I really think there's going to be a push to go down to 5 classes. The other thing, not too long ago in the playoff system, not this Z plan and not the one before, but back in the mid-'90s when teams would travel and play, in the first and second round, they would play East. Let's say an Oakland or a Blackman would go and play Cookeville or play up in Knoxville. I remember going to Knoxville, Farragut, and Bearden in some first-round games. To me, that makes it backwards from the way it is now. Instead of playing local and going out, let's go out and then bring it back local. I think that might be a way to keep a quarterfinal matchup, maybe push it to the semifinals. The only way it's going to help Murfreesboro is if some teams could actually, one year, go west. I think if we had a Siegel, maybe even a Smyrna, and Oakland or Blackman west, they'd be in the state championship game. That's just the way I kind of feel about it this year with the power of the district. But yet you group them all into one quad. I think there's going to have to be some spreading out and some thinking of this quad system. To me, that's the thing that's kind of going from local to regional. And let's do it the other way. Send some teams to Knoxville, or maybe not Kingsport from here in Middle Tennessee, but down to Cleveland, kind of like we do in the sectional rounds and things of that nature. I think that would be a better way to do it.
All right, Bryan Barrett, you were at the another Battle of the Titans again. Blackman defeats Oakland at Oakland tonight, and great game, first loss of the season for Oakland. Congratulations to Tommy and that bunch on a great season. I know it didn't end where they wanted it to end, but Coach Shad's got that Blaze team playing well, doesn't he?
Well, I think one difference between this matchup and the other one, it was 9-3 for a long time, and another thing that happened in the first meeting in the regular season that happened opposite this time is Blackman takes the opening drive in the third quarter and scores. That puts pressure on Oakland, and I think whoever was trailing in that game had more pressure on them. Not necessarily 2-0, but now that you're down 9-0, it put more pressure on Oakland. And I think that affected them a little bit. Nobody turned the football over tonight, I think, was a key. And Blackman was able to get a couple of big plays. And tonight, Oakland was just not able to bust that big play. Blackman kept Oakland and Fred Wade and company and Josh Cunningham in front of them. And that was really the difference in the ball game.
Bryan, there was one point in the game, and I can't remember exactly when it was. It seemed like it was in the first half, maybe late in the first half, where it looked like Oakland may have been able to turn the momentum. Blackman got inside the 5 and had 4 shots in the end zone. Oakland held him out of there for 4 straight plays, and it looked like that would have been a good chance for Oakland to maybe see some momentum, but it never really played out for him, did it?
Well, what happened was that was the end of the first half. They held him out to end the first half, and the score remained 2-0, and Oakland had to kick off to Blackman. And then Blackman marches down and scores. I think that was a huge play in the game that kept it down to, a 2-0 score. But whoever was going to score that first touchdown in the second half, I really thought that it was going to be very tough for the other team to overcome. And Blackman actually got that first touchdown. And, Oakland had some penalties tonight that I'm sure they're going to want back. The fumble on the opening in the first half, on the kickoff, and they had a penalty because they took it the other way, and that was called back, and Blackman regained possession of the football. I think that was a huge difference in the game. Just some very small things, and when you have 2 really good teams playing, it's the small things. A couple of big plays on offense, nice runs by Knotgrass, a few penalties here and there by Oakland, and that was the difference in the game.
All right, Brian, we appreciate it as always. Good luck in your travels next week to Maryville. I don't think I'm going to go with you this time.
No, you're not going?
No.
Everybody,
unless
like
you
our
need
previous...
help. Do you need help? If you need help, I would go. But I think probably John and Rafferty would be dying to go.
Yeah, I think we've got everybody ready to go and psyched up to go to Sullivan's and go to see if that juggernaut in East Tennessee can be knocked off. I did catch Coach Shadowins on the way out, and he said he'd have it no other way. This is the team that he wants to play. If the best in Middle Tennessee meets the best in East Tennessee, and I really think a lot of people feel like this may be the state championship game because whoever gets there is going to be a heavy favorite. And for those who haven't met Coach Shadowins and his philosophy and his kids, I don't know that I would count them out.
No,
they may be an underdog, but don't count them out because he likes to play that underdog role.
He does indeed. Brian, we got to go. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, the full scoreboard is available on our website, FridayNightThunder.com.